Rivers nurture human civilization. Along the banks of rivers, life flourishes. Though these faces originated far from each other, the eyes seem to share a story. Cairo, a sprawling metropolis with a population of over 20 million, is a constant hive of activity. In its ancient markets, people haggle in myriad languages, while vendors weave their precarious way among the crowds. Amid all the hustle and bustle, the river Nile flows peacefully. As the lifeblood of this arid land, its waters are a silent but ever-present force. Not far away, in the desert to the west of modern-day Cairo, a cluster of pyramids tower above the Giza Plateau, seemingly the work of gods. These wonders have stood here for over 4,000 years. From its source in highlands to the south, the river Nile flows directly northward to the Mediterranean Sea. Reflecting its descent, Cairo and the northern Nile Delta region are known as Lower Egypt. As for the part of the country extending from the southern outskirts of Cairo to the Sudanese border, it is known as Upper Egypt, an area primarily consisting of agricultural land that extends along the Nile Valley. From 3100 BCE to 332 BCE, 31 pharaohs ruled over a civilization that developed along the length of the Nile. Some 6,000 kilometers eastward from the Nile in East Asia lies another great river, the Yangtze. The Yangtze is the third longest river in the world after the Nile and the Amazon. The alluvial plains flanking the Yangtze have, since ancient times, been crucial to the sustenance and development of the Chinese nation. Within this basin, at longitude 104.06 degrees east and latitude 30.67 degrees north, lies one of the great cities of southwest China, Chengdu. Here the food is spicy and the lifestyle easygoing. Surrounding the city is an area known as the Chengdu Plain. Here the water systems of the Yangtze and its tributaries serve as veins, spreading prosperity and abundance throughout this vast, densely populated region. The river Jianjiang is a tributary of the Tuojiang, itself a major tributary of the Yangtze. Where it passes 50 kilometers northeast of Chengdu in the town of Nanxing in Guanghan. It has carved out a crescent-shaped platform. This platform and the 3 lowest mounds nearby are known locally as 3 stars accompanying the moon. This is the origin of the name Sanxingdui, meaning 3 mounds resembling stars. In 1929, farmers digging in the area chanced upon some ancient jade artifacts. Experts speculated that these treasures might have belonged to the semi-legendary Shu civilization. However, evidence that the kingdom of Shu ever existed remained elusive. That was until 1986, when more artifacts were discovered. They included some particularly striking bronze objects with unique shapes and forms. The archaeologists concluded that they had discovered a lost ancient Chinese civilization, dating back to over 4,000 years ago. The Sanxingdui archaeological site, covering 12 square kilometers, had lain concealed for millennia. Within it lay an ancient city 3.5 square kilometers in area, consisting of a residential district, a workshop area, and a burial site, all laid out according to a distinct pattern. The experts speculated that this may have been the capital of ancient Shu during its golden age over 3,000 years ago. To mounting astonishment, more artifacts were uncovered. In their designs and forms, they bore little or no resemblance to anything ever unearthed in China before. A giant bronze standing figure, exuding a regal demeanor. A bronze sacred tree, revealing a unique form. A bronze mask, gazing into the distance, eyes protruding and ears like spread wings. A gold scepter adorned with mysterious motifs of smiling human faces, flying birds, and fish. Then there were the gold masks. Unearthed in the course of over 30 years, each wears an inscrutable smile, as if contemplating the people and world it surveys. In the 14th century BCE, on the banks of the Nile, some 700 kilometers south of modern-day Cairo, stood the largest city in the ancient world, Thebes. In the words of the Greek poet Homer, this was the city of 100 gates. Today, Thebes is known as Luxor. The Karnak and Luxor temples, standing on the east bank of the Nile, offer a glimpse what the ancient city of Thebes looked like. A hotbed of activity, Thebes would have showcased the vibrancy and variety of daily life under the rule of the pharaohs. In stark contrast was the Nile's west bank, regarded by the ancient Egyptians as a sanctuary of the afterlife and eternal existence. This is the location of the Valley of the Kings, where 60 royal tombs were hidden. In 1922, a team led by British archaeologist Howard Carter opened the sealed entrance to the tomb of Tutankhamun, revealing the mummy of the boy king and his gold funerary mask.
Because Tutankhamun has magic. The magic because it is the only tomb that was found completely intact. It really, all of this made Tutankhamun to be in the most famous, important discovery on Earth.
Over the next century, this exquisitely crafted mask would become one of the most recognized symbols of ancient Egyptian civilization. At Sanxingdui and in the Valley of the Kings, two great rivers have for thousands of years guarded gold masks, treasures that have come to represent humanity's enduring quest to understand its past and compare its civilizations. So, how in ancient times did rivers provide human habitats and ultimately become the source of civilizations? And how did nature influence the development of human society? Today, beside the Sanxingdui site, people and the river still exist in harmony together, just as they did thousands of years ago. The river is lined with vast expanses of fertile paddy fields. This is one of China's most important rice-producing areas. During the excavations at Sanxingdui and other sites nearby, archaeologists have uncovered the remains of rice phytoliths. These confirm that over 3,000 years ago, rice was the primary staple food of the ancient Shu people, cultivated in a region where the conditions are uniquely favorable.
它这里气温要比较高，那么水量的可能比较丰富，所以四川从现在已有的证据来看，它应该早期也是种稻的。
Within the Yangtze River system, the river Jianjiang, as it enters the Chengdu Plain, divides into 9 separate rivers. These include the Yangtze to the north of Sanxingdui and the Mamu, which flows through the city. Together, they form a network of water sources.
我们现在好多看到遗址，第一要离开水源要比较近，但另外呢要有一定的高度。当时的人没有像我们现在这么那么丰富的地理知识，他有的出于偶然，有的是无数次失败以后才找到的，或者才这里选定了。所以表面看来这是一个本身文明的发展，但它背后是什么呢？就物质基础，啊，那么食物。 是最重要的物质基础。
Like China, Egypt, as one of the earliest places where cereals were cultivated and an agricultural society emerged, was a birthplace of human civilization.
بقى لي 56 سنة لأني لدي حياتي أنا ممكن أنزل الساعة 2 الساعة 3 الساعة 4 الساعة في أي وقت بنزل النيل عسل بيفرج علي ربنا منه كثير ده أنا عشت حياتي في الأقصر
But the Nile was important to all of us. In ancient times, you could go to drink, irrigate your land, transportation linking ancient Egypt and Aswan with Egypt. It was the most important thing. As Herodotus said, Egypt is the gift of the Nile.
Wheat has been cultivated here in the desert for thousands of years. This was possible thanks to the waters of the Nile. A staple here is sun bread. Cuts on the surface release the internal pressure from the fermenting dough and maintain the loaf's shape. The sun overhead aids the bread's fermentation. It's then baked in ovens made of clay from the banks of the Nile. They have been baking plenty of sun bread recently. The holy month of Ramadan is approaching. Rivers give rise to human communities, employment, food, and life itself. Humans have for millennia been exploring the temperament of rivers in an attempt to tame them. From the time of the pharaohs to the mid-20th century, the annual flooding of the Nile dictated the life and work cycle of the Egyptian people. In ancient times, the calendar they observed was based on the rise and fall of the Nile's waters.
埃及的这个每年分成3个季节，是按照尼罗河的规律来划分的。每年泛滥是一个季节，4个月，然后之后呢是播种4个月，收获4个月。
Measuring the depths of the Nile and understanding how factors such as the speed and volume of its flow and its silt deposits changed was a matter of life or death for the ancient Egyptians, and they came up with a special invention to aid them. On Rhoda Island, in the middle of the Nile, is the site of an ancient Nilometer. A Nilometer was a square well with a central stone pillar rising to a height of roughly 11 meters. The pillar was marked with a clearly defined measuring scale, which recorded changes in the level of the river. Water from the Nile would flow into these wells through 3 small channels situated at different heights. Each unit on the stone pillar was called an and was roughly equivalent to 1.1 meters. A water level below 12 foreshadowed famine, while 16 pointed to a bountiful harvest. However, if the level was much above 16 potentially disastrous flooding was likely.
The Nile is the source of life. The Egyptian thought that when Isis lost Osiris, she had tears. The tears were the river Nile. If the Nile is low, the Egyptian will starve. If the Nile is high, the Egyptian will die.
The remains of Nilometers can still be found to this day, scattered across the Nile basin. Among them, one is located on Elephantine Island in the southern city of Aswan, and another at the temple of Kom Obo, lying between Aswan and Luxor. Where rivers could be controlled and used, cities sprang up. Within these cities, societies developed, characterized by intricate ruling systems and strict hierarchies. At the Sanxingdui site, archaeologists have uncovered a significant quantity of water management facilities. They include drainage ditches, canals, and reservoirs, all of which might have been part of an irrigation system. These facilities, along with the river passing through the city, formed a relatively complete urban water supply and drainage system.
它的所有城墙的外围都有壕沟，这壕沟都是可以称得上是人工的河流，它刚好就把这个和北面的鸭子河以及城中间的马莫河都连起来了，也具有这个疏通河流的这个意思。
Rivers can also be a source of inspiration, encouraging people to display their wisdom. The Dujiangyan irrigation system of the river Minjiang is a marvel of hydraulic engineering. Constructed in the 3rd century BCE, it serves multiple purposes, including the diversion of water for irrigation, flood control, water transport, and urban water supply. It helped to transform the Chengdu Plain, where the ancient Shu people lived, into a major granary for China and a place renowned for the quality of its living environment. Life flourishes beside rivers and beneath the sun. Human destiny is inextricably linked with nature. But nature reveals many faces, and humans must learn to respect and adjust to them. For example, by embracing the light and warmth of the sun. Historical texts reveal that the ancient Shu people worshipped the sun. This giant bronze standing figure unearthed from pit number 2 at Sanxingdui is an impressive 2.62 meters tall and weighs over 180 kilograms. Scholars believe that the circular ornament in the center of the elaborate crown is a symbol of the sun. Towering above its pedestal, the figure exudes a sense of regal grandeur. Its identity is believed to be that of a king priest. Some experts have suggested that it may even be a statue of the sun god. At Sanxingdui, another significant artifact is a wheel-like object crafted entirely from bronze. 85 centimeters in diameter, it's divided into 5 equal sections by thick rays. This mysterious bronze artifact is known as the sun wheel. Archaeologists have speculated that the sun wheel may have been permanently housed in a temple of ancient Shu. As a sacred object, it would have been worshipped as a symbol of the sun. However, some scholars have argued that the sun's radiance enclosed within a circle signifies that the ancient Shu people hoped to contain the sun and prevent it from emitting light and heat. What these different interpretations have in common is a respect for the complex psychology of ancient humans, with which they displayed a mixture of reverence for and awe of the sun. While enamored of its warmth and life-giving energy, they also feared its power to dry up rivers and parch the land. The yearning the Sanxingdui people felt for the sun and its radiance is evident in the sacred birds, symbolizing sun worship, that are part of the bronze divine tree. Sun worship extends to the nearby Jinsha site, which in terms of time coincided closely with Sanxingdui. This is where archaeologists found the iconic golden sunbird, now a symbol of Chinese cultural heritage.
要想生存下去，它就必须要依赖太阳。那久而久之，这种依赖性肯定就会，导致他们对于太阳有这种天然的一种崇拜。我想这个放到全世界都是如此，在古埃及同样如此，玛雅文明同样也是如此。
It's widely believed that the earliest deities created by humans were sun gods. Considerable evidence has been found of sun god worship on China's central plains dating from the Shang dynasty, which flourished at roughly the same time as Sanxingdui. The artifacts point to structured ritual ceremonies being held on specific days. In an area surrounded by mountains, such as the Sichuan Basin, cloudy, rainy, and misty weather conditions tend to prevail, although occasional droughts can occur. Whatever the weather, the sun remains constant, illuminating everything on Earth.
四川盆地这几千年来的日照是相对是比较少的一个地区，这个地区的人对于太阳、对于光明的这样一种渴望或者是崇拜的话，有可能比中国其他地区的一些人群或者是族群的话更为强烈。
我呀把爱人祝我呀把俺带来呀，莫把我呢也还是把你呀，个把主把扫了没去还去我把也喊到我来呀，要我呀把爱人祝我呀把。
This heartfelt reverence for nature is also expressed in song. The ancient Egyptians regarded the sun as the ruler of the natural world and the source of all things. Karnak Temple in the ancient capital, Thebes, honors the sun god Amun-Ra. A renowned feature of Karnak Temple is the hypostyle hall. Inside it are 134 massive columns, some towering to 21 meters in height, crowned with carved papyrus flowers, symbolizing the vitality of the sun. The distribution of the columns aligns with the movement of the celestial bodies. The interplay of light and shadow creates a captivating effect, conveying the magnificence of the sun god in a truly awe-inspiring manner. Among the items found in Tutankhamun's tomb are many that reveal evidence of sun worship. On his gold mask, the protective goddess Wadjet is depicted as a cobra, coiling above the Nemes headdress that was a symbol of the pharaohs. On his throne, the golden sun casts rays of light over the pharaoh and his queen, bestowing life upon them. In the name of the sun, the gold mask radiates a shimmering light. After the Nile's annual flooding, Egypt enters the planting season. The floodwaters, as they recede, leave behind fertile soil. It's time to begin tilling the land, to sow the seeds, and to patiently await the growth and ripening of the crops. On the Chengdu Plain, the Minjiang, a major tributary of the Yangtze, pours down from the Qinghai Tibet Plateau, exuding a powerful energy brimming with hope and life. The river is a witness to the profound changes in China today, where tradition and innovation meet in harmony. Two gold masks, dormant for thousands of years, now gaze out at us, inhabitants of the modern world. Regarding the archaeological discoveries at Sanxingdui, people often hear this description. After sleeping for 3,000 years, their awakening has astonished the world. An inscription in Tutankhamun's tomb contains the phrase, "I am yesterday, I know tomorrow." If we let the rivers carry us back through history, we see humans achieving harmony with nature while involved in a constant struggle against it. Looking up at the sun, we feel its light shining on the earth, illuminating the yesterday, today, and bright tomorrow of two great civilizations.